All right, let's talk about Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mayfield's statistical day was incredible. Over 10 yards per attempt, 4 touchdowns. Did have an interception and another play where he was kind of lucky to not throw an interception. So we'll talk about it all, the good and the bad. Let's start off with just a good concept here by the Buccaneers. So it's a man coverage play. And this is something teams don't often do against the Buccaneers, is go with sort of a straight up man coverage single safety deep play. Why? Well, because you got Mike Evans to deal with, right? And it's hard to cover him one on one. But here the Buccaneers are kind of using Evans as a decoy. They're going to run this this rub route / pick play, whatever you want to call it, get some traffic going over the middle. Jalen McMillan will then run towards the sideline deep down the field, and hopefully he can get open. And as you see with the traffic from Otten and from Evans, the defender covering McMillan is so far back. Like, he's trying to catch up now. Again, usually when something like this happens, it's because of a blown coverage. That's not what happened here. It was just the traffic in front. Good job by the other receivers running the setup routes to make it seem as though it could still be a route to avoid the penalty. Mayfield, of course, not going to miss that throw. Good job by McMillan as well, running his route. Got to give him credit. I mean, he gets all the credit, right? The other guys do the hard work, and he's the one who gets all the credit. But at the end of the day, he did deserve credit for running a good route, and really good stuff from Mayfield. Now, we can go over here, because I'm sure you were wondering how long into this video was it going to take for me to bring up Mike Evans, who obviously was a huge factor in this game, kind of one of those, vintage Mike Evans games where he just goes off. What happened? How was he able to be so dominant? Well, let's start off with this play. So it's going to be a zone coverage concept. Evans is starting off on the offense's right, going to move all the way over. Usually kind of over the middle is when this route gets open. However, when Mayfield takes the snap, due to the way, he actually looks somewhere else, finally gets over to Evans, who I think at first was just kind of running more of a setup route just to help get Sterling Shepard open. But here, he's open. I know it's a little blurry here, but you see the Chargers defender, who I've circled in black, is, taking a chance here. This chance does not work out. Not the kind of guy you can make that kind of mistake against. Evans is able to run the rest of the way for a touchdown. So, again, just being able to find the soft spot in zone coverage, right? That's a big part of what Evans has been able to do his whole career. All the best receivers in the league just find ways to do that. But then there's also this, which is, it's essentially a one-on-one matchup. You have the corner down the field on a 3rd down and 12. It's just, quite frankly, I don't know why the Chargers were doing this. I mean, the whole thing we talked about with Tampa Bay is due to the Chris Godwin injury, they're really Mike Evans dependent in the passing game. They have other guys. I brought up Jalen McMillan. Sterling Shepard has made plays. Cade Otton has made plays. But Mike Evans is the one guy that can beat you one-on-one, and he's one-on-one. Mayfield takes the snap. Evans is going to do what you expect him to do, win this matchup, and Mayfield's firing it because there was a game I believe it was against Washington, where he was sort of joking on the sideline. If I see Mike one-on-one, I'm throwing him the ball. That's what he does here. And really nice throw from Mayfield. Really good catch from Mike Evans. Again, you kind of got to be a little smarter than this, I think, if you're the Chargers. And this wasn't the only time they did this. You also had this play as well, where it's a 3rd down and 2. Evans is in the slot, and again, it's one of those things where I don't care if Evans is in the slot. He's not a slot receiver. He's the number one option. You see how he's going to fake as though he's going towards the offense's right and then go more over the middle. Watch this really nice route from Evans, because that really is, I mean, you talk about what makes him great. Sure, he's 6'5", and he can make these incredible contested catches, but really his route running is what makes him great. That's what allows him to get so open. He's open here. You see Mayfield makes the catch, and then Evans kind of drags the defender another 10 yards or so before finally getting knocked down. So, yeah, a lot of really good Mike Evans stuff. I could have made a whole Mike Evans video, but instead I made a chunk of the Baker Mayfield video. Give Mayfield credit, right? What does a good quarterback do? They find their matchup advantage and take advantage. It's a little bit easier in this game to find advantage, but he took advantage. And one of the things Evans did too was on this play where he, played some defense. We'll get into the negatives now from Mayfield. There's only a couple, but I do want to talk about them. So you have a zone coverage play. Evans is trying to get into a gap in coverage, and I think Mayfield just misreads this coverage. Watch as he takes the snap. He's going to look in Evans' direction, fires here, and you see if it was just that, this is a good throw, right? Evans has kind of the outside leverage right here. Lead it a little bit towards the sideline, and you're good. But there's a Chargers defender there. I think Mayfield just thought that Chargers defender was staying shallow, in which case this would be open. Evans here does a good job of playing defense. Hey, he played 5 years with Jameis Winston, all right? He knows how to defend dangerous passes. He has the experience here. Good job by him to make that play work, but not the best read by Mayfield. The other one, this was the actual interception, also to Mike Evans. So again, Mayfield was targeting Evans a lot in this game. The concept is designed to get Evans open. You have McMillan actually running the setup routes, so comes a little full circle from the first play I showed you. Evans runs more over the middle. And you see, I'll show it here, and then I'll also show a replay. But the throw it actually was open. It's just a little late. You see right here, if he throws it now, that's open. Throws it a bit late because of that timing was off. These things have to happen so quickly and so effectively. Weren't quite able to make it work on that one. But again, you're kind of okay with these plays, right? Because you're getting the positives. Mayfield's taking some chances, but you take the good with the bad, and the good by far and away outweighs the bad in a game like this. It's all the balance, right? I mean, I brought up Jameis Winston earlier. He could never get on the right side of the balance. The negative always outweighed the positive. For Mayfield, usually you're going to get some negatives as well, but the positives are almost always outweighing them. That's what happened in this game. And one other thing I want to bring up, some key rushes here. This was not his, most mobile game that he's had this season, but he definitely had some key plays, including this one, which I thought was a really important drive because there were a couple of third downs, and had they gotten stopped on, say, this situation, not only do the Buccaneers not end up kicking a field goal to make it 17-13, but the Chargers get another drive. Now, granted, how they ended up playing from this point on, maybe they wouldn't have done much with it. But still, at the time, it felt like a big deal, especially with the Chargers getting the ball to start the second half. Mayfield takes a snap. It's zone coverage here, but essentially the way this works is, you look, there is a gap in coverage right here due to those two defenders covering the two eligible receivers in that area, because that's all you have to cover. The issue, Mayfield is outside the pocket, and he reads this play. Watch him just power through. He's not afraid to take a hit if he has to, but is smart enough to get out of bounds, which stops the clock and protects himself. So good stuff there, really good stuff there from Mayfield. So yeah, as a whole, I mean, it was a really good day from Mayfield, right? Doing the stuff you want to see him do, making a lot of throws, a couple of dangerous passes, but then also making some runs to make it work. And yeah, I mean, if this is the Baker Mayfield you get in the playoffs, he can do some damage, and that's what we saw last year in the playoffs when the Buccaneers, everyone kind of said they were like the 13th or 14th best playoff team, but they did all right. They beat the Eagles and I wouldn't say nearly beat the Lions, but played a competitive game against the Lions. We'll see what happens, but definitely, again, getting hot at the right time, which is kind of a Todd Bowles thing now. I was looking at it. Todd Bowles is currently 11-3. His teams are 11-3. In December or later in the regular season, which is kind of a fun stat. So that's excluding a game where they rested their starters. So, hey, get hot at the right time. That's always good to see. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.